Typing. And while I do so and we ease into the episode, does everyone remember where we were?
I'm in a bathtub.
Were we all in a bathroom, or were we in our bedroom with a bathroom?
No, there's a bedroom and there's a bathroom, and they're one inside of the other, but there's also other spaces to die away from the light. As you guys were escorted there, you all have the choice of how you all would like to die for the day.
Well, I remember Abe claimed the bathroom, or Benji claimed the bathroom, and Anaya was going to sleep in front of the door because Haley was upset about the whole situation. So that will leave a bed, and Haley will absolutely take the most comfortable place for herself. Like it matters when you're dead, but...
Sounds about right.
Hey, look, Kindred do a lot of tossing and turning, especially when they're being raided.
Wouldn't that be smoking and burning?
No, that happens too, but you know, you gotta toss and turn while you're on fire.
So what you're saying is stop, drop, and roll.
Why does that make me check my carry if I had the thing that you can do that if you wake early in danger you can flee, and I don't, but at the same time it made me think of that.
Well, you know, that's a very real benefit of certain clans, such as the loyal, upstanding members of society that are the Tremere.
Don't you get like a humanity check or something if you're in danger?
Yes, but they have the additional bonus of waking with complete freshness, so they have their full dice pool.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean usually that much, but it makes a huge difference having those extra dice when you need them.
Those sketchy Tremere.
Because, you know, if that happens, you're in a lot of danger, usually.
What do you mean? They are so absolutely loyal and upstanding to themselves. It's nothing sketchy about being, you know, self-focused.
I didn't say there's anything sketchy. I just said that if they awake during the day, that means they're in danger. And they need those dice.
Well, they typically need more dice than they have anyway. Nothing like having all of your roosters come home at the exact same time. And in a similar regard, today is Friday. We are in Gary. This is Steel Hearts, Rusted Souls, and I would be remiss if not verifying what, if any, are your questions, suggestions, hypotheses, and corners we might need to round off before diving in with both feet.
Is are the old ass Hot Wheels that these people have been giving me a surprise tool that will help us later?
Everything can help someone later.
You never know, we'll need a child to choke.
Yep.
The lead paint adds flavor. Don't worry about that. It's only there as a flavor enhancer.
Back in my day, we rolled around in the asbestos and we liked it.
Well, it was used for almost everything. Its fire retardation factors only adding to its beauty. There was a Family Dollar I was working at for a few weeks where I worked at Family Dollar that had to have asbestos remediation done because the building itself was, mid-century, post-war, and the walls were lined with stuff. And the Family Dollar had been there since the late 90s, so most of an entire generation had been exposed directly or indirectly because, the storeroom wasn't really shielded or protected by extra walls or anything. And so all of the products that were on the shelves over the years had been in that storeroom. Contact exposure and all of that good stuff. And it was fine. It's great. But with no questions further, I'd like to thank you all for being here. Our opportunities of play are immeasurably valuable to me, and I thank you all for giving me those opportunities with these characters and the plethora of others. And without further ado, until we don't, I'd like to say that this is officially Steel Hearts, Rusted Souls, and tonight's episode is the beginning of bad move, compounded by anger. Kindred don't sleep. The wicked don't receive any real rest. When dying for the day, a switch is thrown. It is a blink of an eye, and it is backed for them, continuing the night that they had just left. No time passes for their conscious mind, which is a bit of a cluster of fucks, because their bodies, their physical senses take in all of the impetuses of the world around them. It absorbs the sounds and absorbs the movement of air. And if they forget to close their eyes, it takes even in the light shifting and changes over the course of the day. But they themselves are not there. So as that switch is thrown once more, as the sun reaches the horizon line, or as it nears that horizon line, all of that data that they were not there to witness and experience hits them at once. For them, it is a brief nothing and everything all at the exact same time. It is a head trip and a half. And for some, they come to enjoy that head trip. It is, for them, a reason to lie abed, luxuriate, and try to parse out the information that they've received over the course of no time at all for them. And for others, it is the feeling of eternal damnation, because resurrecting by the light of night and dying before the light of day arise leads to a significant lack of vitamin D. So as you all resurrect for the night, realizing what had happened the previous night, realizing what is ahead of you, and realizing where you all are, how do you all begin your evening?
Cranky, and I assume with a rouse check.
Yes.
Well, Haley doesn't get any hungrier waking up, but she does get hungrier using her blush of life, which brings her to hunger 2.
So the beast grows a little closer to the surface. And for Haley, the annoying factor of it is they are able to feel, which is normally not a thing that kindred regret, which is normally not a thing that kindred even hold against themselves. It is a joyous moment of being able to interact with the world as something more than an endless void. Feeling and taking in things is typically a pleasure, save for one attempting to swallow back the acrid pain of addiction, save for one attempting to ignore the predations of all of those dark, intrusive thoughts that the inebriation keeps at bay. Feeling means that those thoughts, doubts, assumptions begin playing havoc, mixing and mingling with the beast's own drive. Nothing like having two bickering wolves all out for your worst and mine. And while Abe himself is not specifically as addicted, there is definitely that wherewithal and that feeling beginning, the percolations of need and want, as he also rouses for the evening, resurrects for the evening with the feeling of need and want beginning to crawl under his skin. Imagine 100,000 small wriggling worms burrowing deep between the muscles and the skin, crawling through where the veins once filled and flowed with various substances, now just seeking, needing, wanting. And then you have Anaya, once more rousing and rising for the evening, no worse for wear than where they began, nor where they ended.
I have a feeling Anaya sometimes that annoying friend that you're like, everybody has a hangover, and she wakes up chipper and has gone for a run. But in this case, a little less chipper because she's remembering the fact that her G-Wagon is destroyed and how that's going to need to be handled. But she's not extra hungry, so that's I'll handle that later sort of situation for her, but she does check on Haley. Alright, girl, let's get going. Nothing busted in. last night, so we gotta go find that other guy.
The first thing Benji will do is actually hop out of the tub. And open the door. Oh, hi. Oh.
Haley is face buried in the bed, laying there, still as the dead, while Anaya stands over her, speaking to her, attempting to get her attention. It's like one big, large sleepover, which is what it was for the folks.
Well, that's pretty neat. I'm just gonna walk over to like the window, balcony, whatever they have here to look down at the car. Is it still there? And then the amount of pieces it was when we died.
So you leave the room, ignoring the girls, to go find a window to look over the balcony down where...
So there's no like window in this room?
No.
Oh, sure.
There's a scene in almost nearly every movie based in and around the late 50s, 60s, 70s. And it's with psychedelic music and colors going across the screen, changing the ambience. There's always lots of reds and yellows and swirling lights, and occasionally the magnified light from a disco ball or a lava lamp moving across the screen. And for Benji, it's much the same, because while he cannot and none of the essences in the air cause any actual inebriation, none of the scents or stenches or vapors do anything for him. But stepping out into the space to move through the apartment, the condo, to find the balcony off of the front living space, the moment the door opens, is smacked in the face with the warming, circulating glow of narcotics of all variety and stripe, wafting through the air. And while they do nothing for him specifically, the scent of burning marijuana, hashish, coke, and various other substances is like the feeling of coming home. It is a vibe. And the moment he steps out into it and it washes over his skin, and the mingling and mixing of the uppers and downers and the various other in-betweeners, is a welcome caress. In other words, there is a party afoot, a never-ending song and dance of celebrating, pushing back the realities and responsibilities of modern life. A party in the offing that never ends, where escape velocity is the goal and the destination. A never-ending party where you can be as wildly, recklessly irresponsible as you need to be to survive yet another day. And for Haley and Anaya, the moment the doors open, there is a shifting in the weight of the air in the room. Various spore of recreational and professionally recreational used items, plants, and chemical concoctions abound, bouncing off the wall, returning an acrid, warm scent and sense.
Haley is probably on the edge of having a tantrum.
Well, there is a cost to sobriety, and dealing with the ramifications of that is certainly not something that Haley is bent towards. How experienced is Anaya? Can she tell the various substances perfuming the air, or has she been relatively inoculated against such things?
She wasn't super of age before she was turned. I mean, she, right at that cusp, I guess. A little bit of college dabbling in lighter stuff like ecstasy and party type drugs, but nothing ever like crazy hard, no hash, no, no heroin, nothing like that. So she wouldn't be like super versed, but know a couple little things.
So the sense of Mary and her friend Juanita bombarding the walls and bouncing all around her is something that she recognizes. And not just any version of Mary, but what the kids are calling high power. What kids are calling that diesel, that super heavy, all-encompassing high Mary. Which is not how she normally resurrects. There's normally a bath, a few photos, a little interaction, but this being smacked in the face with the stickiest of the stickiest is a different moment. And as you were speaking towards Haley, while Haley is sulking and attempting to right themselves or wrong themselves, Benji walked out of the bathroom right past you all, out the door and into the rest of the apartment, condo, home where you all are staying. Now, speaking of Benji, looking over the balcony, downstairs, you expected to see the G-Wagon mostly stripped. You expected to see the G-Wagon a husk of its former self. The fact that it is still there, and the hood is still ruined, but pounded out somewhat. It's not quite as caved in as the last time you saw it, is a unwelcome surprise. That means that someone or something has been active.
That's a welcome surprise, because I asked some people to keep an eye on it and make sure it didn't get stripped.
Yeah, but there's strip, and then there's what normally would have happened. You would have been missing the antenna. You would have been missing one or two of the lights. It would have been, for the most part, still there, but there would have been parts missing, parts that the car could do without, such as, the catalytic converter, such as, the hubcaps. Those things the car doesn't need, and it wouldn't, it gets you a few bucks here and there, but nothing of any real damage to the car. So the bulk of the car would have been there, but there would have definitively been pieces missing. The fact that the only thing missing seems to be the windshield. The fact that someone has taken the time to kind of pound out the hood of the car. The fact that it's not as blood splattered as you last saw it is interesting.
Cool. I'm gonna go back to Anaya then.
While Benji's been gone, she's been trying to get Haley up out of bed. Trying to be encouraging and girl, do you need like some coffee or something? Maybe they got some around here, I mean, well, they all smell like drugs, obviously.
I could use some bloody tea, if you know what I mean, but who the fuck even is this guy, right? I mean, we just meet him and pick him up, he has to come here. There's some fucking muppet throws a fucking person off the building who turns out to be an even bigger fucking wanker than the person who threw him. So the car's wrecked, and then we've got to stay here all fucking day, and I don't like it.
So, hi. So your car, he's not looking you in the eye.
They stripped it, haven't they? It's only like pieces left, I'm sure.
No, actually, the only thing missing is the windshield. Looks like someone fixed it.
What?
Which is weird as hell. But also, druggies do weird things sometimes. I know I am one.
So you mean like they're like the little creatures from that one little movie or something my mom told me about? They're like little like flying saucer things, and they like put shit together. I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, and you're probably thinking a little like house spirits, you know, the ones that kind of fix shoes and stuff. But I don't think they work on cars usually. Usually things that mess with machines tend to break them further. First time for everything, I guess. Mazel tov? I think.
I don't know, but the fucking thinks we owe him something because he let us stay here after he broke the car and forced us to stay here. He's fucking pissed.
Well, I go check on the car and see what it's looking like, but you two figure your whole needing to wake out situation up, and I'll be right back. Oh, wait a minute. I don't remember how we got up here in the first place. It was some kind of weird-ass maze, so I guess I can't do that.
I mean, fastest way is to go out the window, but I don't think you want to do that, so, here, I'll lead you. Because verbal directions don't work. I've tried.
Hey, Umbrella, are you gonna be okay? Because, like, if you go talk to these people, maybe, like, they can figure out how to get you what you need to wake up.
I don't know any of these people. I mean, you can't just put a bite on anyone. What if one of them is dirty and then I take it back and spread it to more people and it's not good? You gotta be careful with things like that.
Benji kind of has that look of he has never once considered that in his life.
The knocking continues. It's punctuating nearly every syllable at this point. And in that way that children have an unending amount of energy for doing the most annoying, consistently directed, attention-seeking thing. The knock continues.
And who the fuck is at the door? Someone get the fucking door.
Why are they knocking the doors open?
'Cause it's rude to listen and intrude on someone's, conversation. The water stopped, so this bathroom might be the only one that could flush, and what I gotta do definitely needs to be flushed, man.
Oh yeah, just go, man, just go.
Oh my god, that's way too much information.
Hey, no more than you liking dirty people to, take back to your people like you were saying. That's a lot. That's bad, man. You should always wrap up before you go dip in your wick.
I'm sorry if I offended you.
Oh man, it's okay. I'm used to being offended. Well, I'm not used to it, and it hurts my feelings. But there's nothing a little crank won't cure. So if I were you all, just to avoid the stench, the unliving stench of the spirits of evil, I'd probably light some incense and maybe spray a shit ton of Febreze in the air or whatever. Well, anyway, I gotta go. And he heads into the bathroom.
So out of curiosity, are there any spirits of evil following him?
No, he clearly means the waste that he may be producing. And it is, in fact, waste. When one's diet consists of whatever one can, piled high and heavy, there is a moment of pure, unadulterated evil as that's released. And it's clear that his diet is predominantly, the junkiest of junk food. And it's clear that his diet is basically battery acid and whatever it can or can't dissolve. His diet is enough to, just in the initial startup and the unfastening of his pants, dropping of trowel, is enough to have your eyes watering for those of you with heightened senses. He's already gone. He's already started the prairie dog, as it were.
Yep. Benji's already out the room.
Haley will kick her legs in the bed in a bit of a tantrum and then growl and get up.
Yes, Anaya is so out of there.
There's a certain escape velocity of human waste. There's a excretion that it needs to reach to get clear, not stick and cling and claw. And you all thank your stars and garters that you all are not truly living, because you are sure that the essences and vapors released by that particular gentleman would quantify as chemical warfare. The escape velocity is not anywhere near fast enough. It is a slow cloying thing, even though the ethers and vapors of it begin filling the room almost immediately. As you all leave and are running from the back blast, as it were, you all realize that you're not quite fast enough. You realize that it is a joy and a pleasure to not, in fact, be alive, heaving gobbets and bits into some commode. Because what is escaping him is eye-wateringly bad.
I will try and escape into the cloud of all the wonderfully smelling drugs instead.
The party is in full bloom, but with so many uppers and downers and all the states in between mixing and mingling, you have groups of 2 here, 3 there, 4 there, 1 there, one standing catatonically staring at one singular spot on the ceiling where there's ceiling. There's several, for Benji, there are several dancers dressed in period appropriate togs from the late 60s and period appropriate dress from the early 80s and period appropriate dress work uniform from the late 50s. And they're dancing and interacting, but no one seems to be interacting with them. For the rest of you, for the others, Anaya and Haley, it feels like what it would look like if an entire high school were made of zombies, and the horribly shambling dead because they are so stoned out of their minds. Many of conversations are happening at 100 miles a minute, and then there are others that are happening at 1/10 of 1 mile per hour, and everything is happening at once. It's fast forward and slow motion here, and there's super slow motion over there. There's this couple who are making out and missing everything that is even remotely erogenous about engaging with another living entity, and then adding injury to insult of the widespread chaos of interfaith drug users and mixing and a mingling that normally is not possible, because drinkers like hanging out with drinkers, and druggies like hanging out with druggies, and everyone has their particular DOC and how it makes them feel, and people that enjoy that same feeling tend to bond together, birds of a feather and all of that. But here there is such a wide swath from one end of the spectrum to the other, and everyone seems to be interacting and intermingling, even though uppers give you a different feeling than downers, and downers give you a different feeling than, and then orally ingested is different than intravenously, and intravenously is different than smoked. Yet lo and behold, all of these different tribes are interacting as if this is the United Nations of drug use, as if policy and politeness matters above all else, not hating on anyone else's choice, decision, needs, and wants. And as much as you all hate what led you here this evening, kept you here from last evening, Todd has managed, him being the asshole that he is, to create a version of Shangri-La. It's a shame that he's not here to witness it, but there's something to be said and had in a peaceful cohabitation.
I think it takes everything Benji has not to immediately just go up on feet on someone.
Oh, MFG, can we just get the fuck out of here?
Yeah. Just follow me down this fire pole.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, you want me to slide down a fire pole?
Benji's already down.
Does he not see what I'm wearing? And the worst part of that is I wore it fucking yesterday.
No, I totally understand. I cannot wait to get my clothes off and change out of this. I guess you can piggyback or something, and I'll hold on to the pole and you hold on to me.
All right.
You all shouldn't have been able to survive on the waste that it was and is in this space. You all shouldn't be made of stern enough stuff to not give into the darker impulses. Take a bite, take a drink, take a life. It is there to be had, yet somehow you all find the strength to maneuver through the crowd. You find the strength to maneuver through the building. You find the strength to get downstairs and nearly out of the building. Nearly. As you are exiting on the first floor. As you are on spitting distance from your goal. Anaya, would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your wits plus either streetwise or technology? Haley, not typically caring about anything in the world around you. It's not any matter whatsoever. It's just more of this hellscape of potentially perfect victims that you can't indulge in because they're not your victims. They're not your crowd of well-kept, manicured druggies. These are free-range druggies. They're not cage-kept and fed by you.
Is this a phone-based technology or just a general technology?
General technology. You can take a +1 for your phone.
I what?
You can take you can use a +1 for your phone.
Okay.
Do any of us, either me or Haley, needs to roll anything else, or just Anaya?
Just Anaya.
Okay. Just gonna be staring at the ghosts.
And there are enough circulating around. There were a ton of deaths during the heyday of the factories, as the steel factories and iron works throughout the city. Many people lost their lives over a course of years, some in freak accidents, some immediately. But there's a reason why the ironworks and steel works were the lifeblood of the city. Because they literally were. Whole families were decimated and initially cared for by the steel mills and ironworks. In the modern day, the slave mines, the salt mines that are social media, is its own reward and its own purgatorial hell. Mim is a well-regarded beauty and tattoo vlogger out of Chicago. Mim is within certain circles akin to seeing, well-born royalty, and is the last person you'd like to have in your cipher if you're not looking your best. Is the last person you'd want to catch sight of you. Mim is so well regarded that a recommendation from her can make or break someone's entire year. And Mim is taking video and pictures at the edge of the property. Mim and her entourage of well-heeled, well-moneyed beauty vlogger influencers are having a photo shoot and a video, and it's being recorded on several different devices as they are, blending in with the local populace. And Anaya sees her. Anaya, who has been victimized by the beauty vloggers of not just mortal community, but the kindred as well. Those who blended in with the modern current taste and did everything they can to seem, to be as vapid as the average influencer, to build their brands. And Mim is one of the queens of that particular circus.
That fucking bitch. How dare she? I can't go that way.
You can't? Oh, okay.
Benji, look, do you not see all those fucking cameras? And we are wearing yesterday's clothes. No, baby.
I'm technically wearing clothes from like a year ago, so...
Ew.
What? I don't stink anymore. Well, smoke does, I guess. As he actually just sniffs spits. Let's see. This way, I think, should take us to another side exit. Just gotta hop out of a first floor window.
Why is this place a jungle gym?
Oh, it's because of the ghosts.
I don't want to know about ghosts.
Oh, no, you definitely don't.
Are you sure they're ghosts, or are you just hallucinating?
Consider I haven't taken anything. Maybe.
Maybe your clothes have soaked in.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, and maybe a little bit of column J. Anyway, out this window, and we should be fine, I think. And he just hops out that window.
Haley will grimace in pain and follow.
Right place, wrong time. There are 100,000 stories that begin and 100,000 lives that end with that sentiment. You are exceptionally in the right place, and you are exceptionally there at the wrong time. This early in the evening, only the die-hard users are in the area. Those who made enough and able to survive on enough and stockpile enough and to engage in the ebb and flow of this ecosystem. So as you all exit, the usual crowds that are in and around the building aren't there. There are certain places that provide privacy and the moment to be whatever your heart's desire. So as you all exit, heedless and carelessly in regards to what anyone else may or may not be doing, why would you be paranoid? Why would you be looking around corners? You are avoiding a potential moment with something else and are nearly heading towards your vehicle by the best way possible. Exiting the window, you see a boy and a girl losing hair and mass and picking themselves up off the ground as tufts and tufts of fur has fallen away. They're picking up their clothes and standing there all in their birthday suits, and they look to each other and then look to you, just as confused as you are that they are not engaged in something worse than streaking. Confused though they are as they look towards you and then themselves. Quick question. How many of you are blushed?
Benji is. That's what made him hunger too.
Yeah, same for Haley.
Anaya is not, she didn't think about it. She usually uses mostly makeup and her darker skin color to hide it.
As they look from themselves and they look to you, and look from themselves and look to you, they drop their clothes, which they were initially holding to cover their indecencies, and take a unified step forward. The boy cocking his head slightly askew, the girl cocking her head in mirrored opposite balance to that. And you realize that while you initially said boy, girl, thinking teenage, you realize that they're older than they look. The muscles just rippling underneath their skin is absolutely 100% distractingly beautiful. Because with each step, it seems as if those muscles are growing in strength and definition and bulk.
No thank you. We'll just be off then.
Anaya stepped foot out of the building and she saw the tufts of fur, that was her already going, oh no.
Nice deck, bro. He just gives a thumbs up. All the while, all the weird shit, weirder than normal, he's gonna start scrying the soul on these people.
Yay, it's always great when they stand still, she says.
Anaya don't stand still, she going back to fucking the window and keep at him.
Go ahead, roll scry the club, Benji.
Let me see. Looking at this, I believe that's intelligence plus auspex versus composure plus subterfuge. No, just to make sure. I'm looking at the wrong character sheet. And hunger 2. You know what? We'll just go ahead and. 3 successes.
Successes are fun. Successes are wonderful.
1
And
willpower now.
Excuse me. There's an unfair amount of brightness in the world that you as a kindred are denied. There's an unfair amount of vibrancy that you as a kindred are kept from. Everything that you've noticed about kindred as a whole is pale, has a tinge of darkness to it, a muting of those colors. Staring at the two surprisingly large and well-built individuals rushing towards you, it is all that you can to not shield your eyes from the bright vibrancy of what they are. There is a wild, nearly blinding aspect to the energy wafting off of them. There is a heat that causes them to shimmer like figments of the imagination across a hot tarmac. And there's a feralness there that is inescapable, as if you can smell the peat moss from the bottom of a forest floor that hasn't been trod in years. There is the feel of being lost in a deep, dense forest where even the light of the sun doesn't quite reach to the darker spaces. There's the scent of fur, hot, humid, rushing across the nose. And there's the decidedly amber-esque hue to their eyes that is inescapable in its ferocity, as if they are able to see into your soul. And being as your action was to scry the soul.
Yep.
What is Haley doing as Anaya makes her way back through the window?
I assume that she, for a second, stands like a deer in the headlights, and then basically starts to dress them down a little bit because she just wants to go the fuck home.
Well, they're already dressed down. They're kind of in their the skinnies, you know.
You know what I mean.
So as she says, I love it when they stand still. And instead of agreeing, instead of offering an affirmation and an acceptance of what she stated, but they're not standing still. They're shaking like leaves on a tree.
Is it possible to lock eyes with one of them?
Contested effort, yes. Let's see if it happens.
Yeah, so as Benji scries the soul and says, "Nice dick, bro," it actually goes like, "Nice dick, bro." As he basically just got flashbangs, as I understand it.
Yes. Hot, heavy flashbang with a feral bent to it.
So he's just kind of trailing off and kind of frozen in place right now.
All right.
What we rolling?
I'm bringing up the systems for the for dominate, and I misplaced things. Bear with me for a quick second.
Okay.
Well, normally I keep the main book open so I can circle through or search through really quickly. Unfortunately, for some strange reason, I can't figure out. I closed out all of my notes pages as well as the core book.
What do you need me to? Or what do you need to look up real quick? If it's in the core book, because I have it right. I have it open.
No, just the the eye-catching contest between dominate users and intended victims, because they are intended victims and they are a little bit more than mortal.
Oh, under dominate. Okay, let me see.
There we go. Got it. All right. So first things first. Would you be so kind as to roll your resolve plus intimidation, and they'll roll their wits and awareness, and then the eye contact happens.
Does my looks merit count?
They're already focused on you. Well, you and Benji. You and Benji. As Anaya is attempting to make their way surreptitiously and quickly as far away as possible. What's in the way?
Not a good pull for Haley.
Wait.
I was very much wondering why the hell they did not run.
Well, you see, there are the I think it's either the 4 Fs or the 5 Fs. It's fight, flight, freeze, and buck. Benji freezes.
When has Haley ever knew what was going on around her immediately?
Here's the scope and lay of the land. They are disastrously violent. You all are startled, stuck, and staring. Haley is seeking eye contact, and they're seeking every attempt to, well, while they're posturing, and while they're swelling, while they are bloating themselves up towards a end release, Anaya is making her way through the window and into the building and back whence they came. With impending doom hanging over our gathering, and a little earlier than expected in regards to the evening, it is 30 after the hour. Let's be back at 40. Everybody ready?
No.
Let me see what character sheets I got.
I mean, on one hand, I literally have been making ass loads of characters this month, so I may not need to actually make a whole new backup.
I got some on tap here. Maybe I could, I don't know. Is this a Camarilla game or an Anarch game now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so
I could always come in with the big game hunter me and Quill talked about. Although that's more of a paired concept, and I need Quill for that.
well, glad that we are back. And the inciting of mindless terror and horror was not initially designed for freezing like dough in headlight. However, as they close, and it is clear that they are in fact closing so that the distance of travel between them and their potential victims is decidedly less. And while they are in fact violent individuals, completely and totally without any social graces or care for social norms, their target has escaped past you. Their goal, what stood out to them, has sought to escape them. And while it is easier for them to tear through you all and through that window, they, growing closer, pick up speed, pick up pace, and begin running. The first blow is an attack designed to move you out of the way forcefully. They're not the sort to run around a thing, but instead through a thing. They have every intention of bringing down what they perceive as a monster having attempted to lead off poor, strung out addicts.
Well, if they're running at me, and I'm getting the fuck out of the way. They don't need to hit me. I will move.
And with their +1 of moving together, that is the DC you all need to beat, which means you need a 4 or higher in escaping the onslaught of potential pain as they literally shoulder tackle and swipe you all out of the way to run around the building.
What is this? What do we need to roll?
Well, if you're going to be force with force, it would be brawl plus athletics. If you are going to attempt to dodge, it would be dexterity plus athletics. If you are attempting to, let's say, I don't know, use one of your disciplines, it would be that instead. And your target, your DC for the matter, is in fact 4. And while that decision is being made and you all are deciding whether you're going to roll or take the hit, Anaya, having made it into the window, having made it across the floor, what is your dexterity?
Yeah, that's what I expected.
Dex is 2.
Oh, I see. You're not exactly the quickest. You're not designed for, downhill running. You are a...
But I do have fleetness and cat-like movement.
Yes, fleetness is also a good thing.
I assume my rapid reflexes won't add anything here.
Yes, you can add rapid reflexes.
So, I'm going to interpret this bestial failure as a very simple thing. Just complete deer in headlights, not able to dodge out of the way at all.
Well, you zag and zig when you should have zigged and then zagged. So as you are coming into realizing that they are running towards you, you go to move to the left and then, oh, no, maybe I should leave to the right. And before you get a chance to move in either direction, there's impact. The attempt to dodge and escape, in fact, putting you in the path of travel. And while Benji is struck with indecisiveness, stutter stepping this way and stutter stepping that way, and to move out of the way of the quickly moving walls of muscle, and attempting to not be where they are planning to be, he plants himself in their path. It's quite a natural human thing, in fact. Should you go left? Should you go right? Should you stay where you are? Should you turn sideways? All of those considerations causing you to not, in fact, act in a way that is self-preservation. We've all seen those moments where two people are approaching on a slightly smaller space than they should, and one tries to go left, and the other one tries to go right, which means they step into each other's path. That's effectively what Benji does. And the complete antithesis to that, in a burst of sheer panicked movement, a flashing of fang, a bearing of true...
No, I will power it out of the messy.
A show of true preternatural skill and grace. Haley manages to, like a ballet scene director, as one of the designers of a play of dance and movement, she knows exactly where she needs to be and where she does not need to be. It's almost as if there is a map on the ground that she is following, set to the timing and tempo of those two mountains of muscle as they rush past you, or past where she was and through where Benji is. Benji's attempt at movement does mitigate the full brunt of what is happening. Unfortunately, his indecision also places him more firmly between the both of them. So while it is a total of 3 superficial, it would have, could have, might have been significantly worse. You, of course, half that, so you'd be taking 2. And are thrown to the ground as Haley dances and slips beneath, around, under, and away from the destructive engines bearing down on you all. While inside Anaya, there is no ifs, ands, or buts in your mind that those two are out for blood or worse. And that worse would mean that you would potentially, at the very minimum, take the beating of your life. We're just saying something because you left that behind months ago when you were murdered by your sire. You're sure that they'd be bearing down through that window any second, and instead you see them streak past the window, moving towards the front of the building. Well, the building that is your safety and security in this moment. Benji, as you're reliving the worst moments of being bullied during high school and feeling as if you've been struck by hammers, or as if you were standing underneath a pallet loaded with bricks as they fell upon your head and across your body, what is it that you all are doing in this moment, realizing how destructive those two streakers are?
On the ground, groaning in pain.
Haley is getting the fuck out of here.
How far away were we from the car when we were about to go out the window?
Is that where you're heading?
That was our initial destination. How close are we?
That was our initial destination, and seeing them streak past, she waits like 2 seconds and then heads back to the window to peek out. And seeing that they're gone, goes back out the window, scooping up Benji in a fireman's carry and heading for her fucking car.
There's a cost to everything. There is a order of things and a value inherent. So as Anaya doubles back on her own steps and moves towards lifting up Benji, and as Haley, where is Haley heading? Where is Haley running off to? Just running, screaming into the night?
Does she see Anaya?
Yeah, Anaya isn't exactly all that fast. So while the two muscle-bound walls of just savagery streak past and you dodge out of the way, the moment they round the corner of the building, Anaya's coming back out the window, scooping up Benji.
Well, then I will go with her because she is tough and I am not.
That being the case, Anaya, as you're leading that, would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your dexterity and athletics? You have a +2, because it is, in fact, a contested thing, because they did not enter the building, which in and of itself doesn't stand out so much in the moment, but as you think about that, well, all sorts of thoughts and assumptions are easily made.
It's a 4.
There is a confounding mix of fate's help and humor. The car managed to have somehow been kept almost perfectly safe. The comedy of errors that is in fact the United Nations delegate of getting high and otherwise altering one's mind and perception. The arrival of beauty vlogger influencers of the kindred community and the hunting pack of 2, the would-be youthfully seeming others, all confound and conflate at destiny and fate's impetus. as you all find yourself following in their tracks, following behind them to head to the G-Wagon. You all make it to the G-Wagon as you realize that the screams you hear are not the usual, or at least what you believe are the usual for this building in this time, because those two engines of destruction, having rounded the building and spying the beauty influencers and not seeing Anaya come barreling out of the building, are in fact on the warpath. And that means dancing with the devil. Their rage, their ferocity, breaking free of them, causing them to, well, crash the beauty influencers party as they take pictures of themselves at the lakefront, as the chaotic post-apocalyptic feel of the landscape adds to the beauty of their layouts. Those two, giving themselves over to the full bestial fury inside of them, begin making short work and quick work. You hear screams and splashes and yells, and you see several people taking off across the wild, broken landscape as you all make it to the G-Wagon in time to see someone and go diving into Lake Michigan. What do you all do? You have one action, one turn, one moment. What is it that you do?
Get the fuck out of here is what I do. I'm throwing everybody in the car and we peeling the fuck out.
Benji is being carried and attempting to shut out the world, but failing because he has such a massive pool of awareness and aspects.
Haley is fortunately in too much pain and too afraid to stop and film.
There's a cost to doing business, and it's not friendly, nor is it even remotely considering of those who pay its cost. The cost of doing business in Gary comes down to what you will and what you won't. And most times what you will has nothing to do with what someone else won't. In this particular case, it only gets worse. It only ratchets up several differing degrees as the true violence possible from supernatural entities plays havoc. And as you all speed away from the area in a vehicle that should not work, and a night that should not have happened, you realize that it is still early enough that, well, Gary hasn't once again died for the day. There's still people on the streets as you merge from 12 onto 90, off of 90 onto several other access roads as you're heading where?
Remembering that Haley's whole point was to get home the night before and we never got there, that is where Anaya is heading. Having remembered Haley gave them vague enough directions to head that way, that's where she's going.
Gary is a city that has just died 100 times over and refuses to stay that way. There is an impossibility of driving through Gary and not being possessed of some semblance and sense of depression. There are too many vacant lots, too many broken buildings, too many buildings left lying fallow. It is a city, but barely one. While it was considered Magic City and the city of tomorrow and all of the many wondrous hopes and dreams that the city and its average citizen held, it has been killed. It has been made obsolete. It has done everything save finally rolling over and giving up the ghost. It is the fish that is swimming on its side instead of completely going belly up. Everyone knows it is a foregone conclusion and there's no hope for it. Because hope in and of itself is a dangerous thing. As you all drive through the early evening of Gary, heading towards Haley's relatively well-to-do neighborhood, the fact that there are construction sites at various buildings along the way does a thing that it shouldn't. There's a stirring of the potential for tomorrow in each of your chests. There is a wait, no, that's not normal. That's not Gary. New construction, lupine, potential werewolves, beauty influencers from Chicago. And then there's the approximation of what Prince Albu told you all. Arrange a party, invite notable individuals, and in essence, give me the bill. You are part of my retinue now. Things are changing. And while nature abhors a vacuum, and change is the one constant in the entirety of this universe and most of the others, there's an unsettled feeling falling over you all. Why is a prince from Illinois interested in Gary? Why are lupines, werewolves, interested in Gary? Why are there notable beauty vloggers from Chicago, not from Indianapolis, not from Portage, not from South Bend, not from any of the other cities in Indiana, but why are beauty influencers from Chicago aware of hidden gems? And most glaring above all of those things is the new construction. There's nothing impossible, but it's so improbable as to be what impossible wishes to be when it grows up. Yet there it is. There's new construction in Gary. There are lupines in Gary. Not the whispered rumors of a friend who heard that someone might be, and no, you all saw two in action. And as you all come to a stop outside of Haley's home, and one of her guys, one of her friends, one of her associates is sitting on the step, rolling up the fattest, absolute double-layered white paper joint that makes it seem as if he cut a cigar into a third. What is it that you all are doing?
Why are all the fucking assholes from Chicago coming here? Benji is just kind of mumbling to himself, reflecting on all of that.
Haley will get out of the car before. Good.
Sorry. I don't know, but it couldn't happen to a nicer motherfucking bitch. I guess we'll have to look into that later. And then Anaya switches her focus to calling like the Safe Light Repair place to put a new windshield in her G-Wagon, waiting to see what Haley wants to do.
Haley will get out of the car before it even comes completely to a stop. And she will get her up the walk to her door.
Oh my god, I thought you were dead, man. Welcome back. They're up there watching the singer show. Look, there was some people by here looking for you. Some dude with a upper crusty accent. I think he was Australian or Irish or Chinese. I don't know which one, but he was just here tonight. He said that he's friends with Chili. I don't know. How do you know Chili?
That's a long story. What did they want?
You.
For what?
I didn't ask. You weren't here.
What does Wanker look like?
Old guy, glasses, mustache. He got gray. Was it gray? Oh, was it white with shadow? I don't know. Dressed real nice. Well, at least he was clean. I think he was clean. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe his clothes were dirty or gray or brown. He was tall. No, he was. He was. He had a height and a weight.
Does this ring any bells for her?
Several. Unfortunately, it could be Darren. It could be your dad. It could be your sire. It could be someone who had the wrong location. It could be someone that you partied with. His description is exactly as general as could be. It is clear that his attention on his surroundings comes to what's directly in front of his face, when it's in front of his face, and he was clearly working on this masterpiece for some time, because that amount of just sheer unadulterated volume is not something that's easily done, especially being as he doesn't know how to fucking roll. Every time he rolls something by hand, well, it's like trying to eat an open-faced sandwich with a straw. Yet this monstrosity, the one that's in his lap on your Julia Child's cookbook that you found in the apartment when you all first came to this particular location, is a massive monster. It is 3 fingers in diameter. It is a absolute beast, and you can tell that he spent a pretty penny, because even without being lit, there is a oily, mellow, skunk-like scent wafting off of the thing.
So you talked to him? Did he leave a name other than Chili? Cameron? Simon? Brookstone?
Strike a match, something like that. Bellana. Early, Zoo Early, Itchy, yeah, strike a match, Bellana's Zoo Early, yeah. It was he mentioned them, and Senator Snow White, yep, Senator Snow White, Zoo Early, and strike a match at the how do you rich people say you need to be there?
You need to be there.
No, real posh. Your presents are waiting, or
right, your presence is requested.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Where exactly is my presence requested?
I don't know. Zoo Early.
I don't know a Zoo Early.
I don't either, man. It's your people.
All right.
Rich,
You
nice
talk.
talking. I don't know who's Senator Snow White. I don't know what that's got to do with anything.
I don't know either. Are you sure his name wasn't Cameron?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, that's a bunch of rubbish you've given me. I'll try to sort that out. Do you know
Hey man,
who in the house?
It's not my fault they couldn't leave a message. Like, dude, this
I
wasn't
get
a
it.
message. Why didn't they just text?
No, you're high. I get it. It's fine.
No, not yet. But oh my god, dude, I woke up this morning, 3:00, and I have not had coffee in how old am I? Since I was 6, man, and I had coffee today, and oh my god, do you know that if you get up, like, McDonald's serves breakfast all day.
I don't eat that shit.
It's so good. They did this thing. It was it wasn't a fish nugget. It was like it's one big fish nugget on a bun, but then they got pickles and this white sauce that goes with it, and it was good, man. Like I haven't had McDonald's since college.
That's wonderful. You've been very helpful. Do you know who in the house might be vibing with the Targaryens right now?
Yeah, they're all upstairs watching the Singer Mask or whatever it is. I didn't want to watch that again. I've already seen it. I already know how it ends. The pretty one wins, and the one that everyone least expects it doesn't matter. Look, what do you think? I've been practicing, and he holds up his monstrosity, and it's literally like a kid who's worked all day, tongue out, and focused attention on drawing a circle.
That's beautiful. You should go show it to my friends in the car there. With that, she will turn and go into her house.
He watches you head in and stands up, looks at it, looks back after you, then looks to the broken car. Hey, you got something wrong with your car, man. And he begins trundling over to the G-Wagon. His huge, magnum-gauged, rolled monstrosity proudly in his hand as he holds the Julia Child cookbook under his armpit as he closes. Hey, man, you got something wrong with your car.
I'm aware of that, and I'm trying to get it fixed.
Dude,
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You know Hales? She doesn't know, but I know a guy that works on cars. Todd throws the best parties, man.
Well, that sounds good. If you could call Todd.
Oh yeah,
And
no
he's
worries.
trustworthy.
I gotta call someone to go meet him. It's a long story, but look at this. Look. I spent the last hour making my baby. I'm gonna call this the Battleship Potemkin. You think that's a good name?
Well, aren't you adorable? Good job. She gives him that influencer smile. It looks like it'll do what it's supposed to.
Oh yeah, this
She looks
is
towards Benji.
rocket fuel, man. I dipped it and then let it dry, then dipped it again. I even got up early. I made it in time to get to McDonald's for breakfast. Like, it's not an easy thing getting there for breakfast. They serve it all day, but still getting up and Driving down. Anyway, look. Oh shit, Benji, dude.
Hey, what's up?
Dude, look at this. It's my battleship Potemkin. It is definitely rocket fuel. It will get you wherever you need to go. It might not bring you back, but it will.
Well, you know, hop in and we can light it up.
That's a good idea. I don't know where I left my lighter. Dude, instead of calling around for Todd, can you tell Todd she needs to work on her car?
So just to make sure, are you talking about Todd or Trevor?
Todd, Trevor's little road dog, the dude with the lips and the eyebrows and the clothes.
I mean, I could try and track him down. No, I don't got a phone.
And he taps Anaya's shoulder. So I reached out to my guy to reach out to Todd. I'll let you know how it works out.
Oh, Anaya, poor Anaya's face just kind of. Thank you, so helpful. But the whole time that conversation was going, she had reached out to the Safe Light people to get the windshield replaced at the very least, and then try to have to drop it off at like a mechanic or something at some other point. But for now, this is what they got. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go check on Haley.
No, stay, man. They're going up there to watch that music show, like Americans Masked Best Chef Cook-Off or whatever, the one where they sing.
I know, I heard you say that, but she's had a pretty rough night. Yeah, and
it's not nice to eavesdrop on people. That's not so very nice.
You, sweetheart, you weren't exactly being stealthy, okay?
Did I show you? And he holds up his monstrosity, man. This is my battleship Potemkin. It is definitely rocket fuel. It's gonna get you where.
So Benji is just going to reach into his pocket, pull out one of the many lighters he carries on him at every given moment, and just hand it to the guy. Just
like, oh, nice, man. How'd you know I needed a lighter?
You just said it like a minute ago.
Just said, Benji, just give me this one if you're going to smoke that. Not in the car, please. Not in the car. And then she goes towards the stairs.
She's already gone. All right. I need to talk to her about something. Actually,
she's not moving that fast, but she's walking away, so you can still probably catch her.
Benji's just gonna follow, I guess, or just he's gonna sit in the car awkwardly.
Hey, man, you don't have to defend me. It's okay. Like, she's looking for Todd to fix the car. So when you get a hold of Todd, let me know. And he lights up several times, and it takes several long, lung-filling draws for it to get going. It is that dense and that moist. The moment that he lights up, with your heightened senses, with your constantly awareness of your surroundings, Benji, there is the feeling of age. You envision yourself walking through some Mediterranean square, roughly in the 10th century, perhaps in the 12th century, somewhere hundreds of years ago, and hundreds of thousands of miles from where you stand. You know that Solomon's temple will be nearly excavated in a week, and there's a ritual in the offing. You know that you take every ounce of pride that you will be the source and focus of that ritual. You will be in a G-Wagon on the side of the road smoking with one of Haley's friends.
And as I'm smoking with him, once he's like well and properly blitzed, and I imagine, given the guy what he's shown us so far does not take long. Benji will attempt to feed on him, making sure that no one is around that is watching or seeing. But I mean,
feeding on him is not difficult at all. In fact, you hear some wizened voice. When we take the blood of the infidels, that does not mean that the entirety of England is filled with infidels. Those who do not believe in the powers of Roshulgi, and those who don't believe in the holiness of Solomon, and those who don't understand that what we fight are principalities. What we do when we judge mankind and kindred kind. And you're back on the side of the road, smoking and preparing to feed on one of Haley's friends.
Oh god, did I just have a premonition?
And as Anaya seeks to catch up to Haley, it doesn't take long. The door is never actually locked. You all have keys, though no one remembers exactly where the keys are when they need the keys. Entering into your home, that's what it has become. This circle of loosely connected, strongly tied individuals that form the basis of your feeding, your herd, your friends, and by extension, in most considerations, your family, Haley. There's a feeling of welcome, returning warmth and security that you have when you enter your home, your haven, and you see them lounge sprawled across couches and arguing as to who has the best costume. You know, they all have different costume designers. No, they don't. They're all the same. No, they have different costume designers. The person that makes the mask isn't the person that does the singing. We're not talking about the person that's doing the singing. We're talking about the person that she was supposed to be. And they're going back and forth with this. If this debate will solve world hunger. This debate will make tomorrow easier and brighter for everyone around the world. They're arguing and debating with such vehemence about the show. And you realize as they pause and rewind that it is in fact a show being played from a pre-recorded, pre-watched episode.
She will slip in there and kind of examine the people, see who's fucked up and who's just mildly fucked up.
Oh, that is entirely too easy of a thing. Even with their increased tolerance for nearly daily use and daily overuse. Your good friend with the remote, who is rewinding back to the beginning of the episode while they're still arguing about the outcome they've clearly already seen, but don't realize that they're arguing about something that has already been determined, about something that they've already witnessed. They are so gone and so amped that they don't realize what it is they are in fact doing. It's almost as if they are caught in a loop of their own making without realizing it. Dude, I'm telling you, look at the credits. The costume designers are different for each one. It is, and they're going on and on. And the person with the remote starts it over again.
She will, assuming the guy with the remote is the one riding the dragon, she will slide into his lap.
Hails! Tell them, man. It's look. Hey, and he fast forwards back to the end of the episode. Well, they're still arguing over the credits that they've watched now at this point twice since you've been sitting here watching them interact. These Man, Hales. Oh my God, Hales. These guys. Oh, shut up. I don't know why. And he rewinds back to the beginning of the episode. Look, I watched this like 7 times. Why do you smell like... You smell so good, Hales.
I smell better in the shower.
Oh no, someone told you about the shower. Look, it was an accident. I didn't know that you're not supposed to use a bath bomb in the shower. I'll trip one of them into cleaning it up. But it smells nice, at least, you know, if you don't mind being a little blue. And it's just your feet anyway. It's not like you wash your legs. It's not like we're poor or anything.
I don't know why I keep you all around.
Because we're a lot of fun, Hales. Plus, I'll think of a reason. Give me a minute. We cook. Wait, who cooked? We cook. As I was telling these guys, dude, that ash shit that they were trying the other day is just for the birds, right? Like, we don't want to be doing that shit, right? It's such a dirty high.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, that's what I was telling them. And that's the reason why I didn't want to smoke that fucking Battleship Potemkin shit that he was rolling. Hopefully you don't. You're not too mad. I kicked him out earlier. He will probably make it back. I don't know. You know how he does. He gets his feelings hurt and he goes off, and we won't see him for a couple of days. I don't even know where he went off to.
Did you see who it was that came looking for me?
Someone came looking for you?
That's what he told me, but maybe he's fucking lying. I didn't see anyone. Oh, you mean... Yeah, I saw him. He was on the porch.
Why is he on the porch? I told him to fucking kick rocks. Fucking ass. And he begins to try to extricate himself to stand up to make sure he can go downstairs and kick the guy further away from where everyone else is partying. Doesn't deserve to be
we need to go clean the shower.
Oh, yeah. And he tosses the remote, not caring who he hits or where it lands. Come on, man. Like, let's fucking do this. Yeah.
And she will get her bite on in the shower.
Anaya, you get into the apartment. The door is unlocked, left slightly cracked and ajar, as if no one cared or cares, as if they have the invulnerability and immortality of youth and nothing bad can happen to them. They're not the paranoid looking out of windows and scared of their own shadow users. They're the users that party and know that they are immune to anything bad happening to them for the most part. And as you enter the apartment, Haley and a strangely handsome member of her retinue head off into the bedroom, the master suite.
She doesn't try to stop her, but at least wants to let her know that she's there. Alright, girl. Catch you when you get out of the shower, I guess.
And as you're tossing that off towards Haley as the door closes, you see one of the remaining 3 holding their head. Ow, where the fuck did that come from? Who hit me with the fucking remote? I don't even know we had a remote. I thought we were using our phone to control the TV, control what we watch, choose, rock the vote, man. No, we were watching the American Mystery Mash Bake Off singer, the show with the furries that need public adoration to get off. No, we're watching the new Yasha. We were not watching Inuyasha. We're not gonna watch Inuyasha. We're not gonna watch that ripoff. What is it a ripoff of? Alice in Wonderland. You say that about everything. Because everything comes down to Alice in Wonderland. There's the brave one. There's the smart one. There's the scary one. There's the evil person that's reminiscent of someone in the real world that's not really in the real world. Everything was a dream. Everyone died, but everyone's successful. And the easiest way to victory is through the power of friendship. Right? And they look towards you.
Sure. Yep. Sounds about right. Oh.
Hey, I recognize you, says the lone other female and the member of smokers and skiers. I have rubbed off so many finger nails watching your videos. Could you do that tricep push-up you were doing like a year and 13 days ago?
She did. I think Anaya would, being she's so detail-oriented, would probably remember that exact video. And as much as she loves to talk about herself. Like, for the girl, yeah, hold on. And she kind of takes off the little over jacket she has on, showing off the...
And someone throws the remote at you as if it's a $20 bill.
I'm gonna dodge that.
Easier done than said. The aim was off by half a mile. And the intention was to give you a tip. So it's supposed to land so you can have to squat down and pick it up. And it's only as it lands and the plastic makes an annoying scraping sound along the floor that you realize these people are fucking idiots. See, who does that? Who admits what they just admitted? Who loses their place and are mid-argument changing the subject while capitulating absolutely nothing? Who indeed? And as you begin the tricep lifts that you were doing, you realize that she was 100% honest. She really did and does enjoy your content. The look on her face is one that you've seen usually on the face of, other individuals. You've never had to deal with it so up close and personal before. You've had more polite times, but you can't exactly put your finger on when. Even with the extra cheese of her eyes roaming and ranging across you as if she's giving you a massage, a deep tissue massage. You've had less cordial and inviting evenings on dates. You've had less cordial and inviting evenings at dinners in your honor. Despite their altered being, these people are strangely authentic and honest in their reactions. As foolish as it might seem, as foolish as it actually is, as death-defying as their existence is, there is a appreciation of continued existence, even though they seek to escape the stressors of day-to-day life. And even though you hate to admit it, much like nearly the bulk population of every city across America, there's been a consistent, slightly angry looking down your nose at these sorts of individuals. But in this moment, after the insanity of the early evening and yesterday and the night before, it's strangely inviting being taken into someone else's confidence, being taken into someone else's trust, being made to be welcomed as much as you wish, as much as you dare. And speaking of daring, as you feed, as you sink fangs, you, Benji, are the strongest you have ever been. The vitae just moves through you. You have a pulse, an honest to goodness pulse. It is not you driving your vitae from one end of your being to the next. It is not you putting on the mask of living. Your vitae is moving of its own volition. You are breathing, and you realize that he's wearing Jupe cologne. You're aware that that's probably Selsun Blue or some other dandruff shampoo. And as he's blissed out staring at the ceiling of the G-Wagon and puffing ring after ring of acrid stench into the air. It smells like two skunks making out inside the vehicle. You remember a night like this one. The ritual was nearly complete, and whatever was demanded by the Brotherhood you were willing to pay. And as the sword was presented to you, and you kissed its blade, it was only as the two other brothers held you that you realized that the ritual ceremony had to do with piercing your heart with that blade, that long steel shaft leveled and balanced against your sternum as the elder brother of ceremonies, the key holder, and may God have mercy on your soul, drives the blade into your chest. You feel that pain rupturing through you. You feel as if you are being torn in two, and you're not. You can see the flickering lights of torches as you're led away into the night. You're carried a la Palantir into what looks like stone. You can hear them around you. You hear the prayers being said. You hear the incantations happening. And then you see those glasses lined face. You see the tall, dark-haired individual looking down on you as the short, dark-skinned woman with the mildly Asiatic features pulls the sword free. You not sure how much time passes, but you're in a dark place with them, and clothes are being given to you, and lessons on the night are being given to you. You barely understand them, but you get what they're saying, and then you're back in the G-Wagon.
What the fuck is an Urshogi?
What? It is a dance, man. Like you gotta hit the nene and the Urshogi, the nene and the Urshogi, and then you gotta floss. This good shit, right?
Oh yeah. Where the fuck did you get this?
I told him it's good shit, right?
Oh yeah. Seriously, where did you get this?
Well, the depot isn't really closed. You just gotta know somebody who knows somebody, man. Instead of Thursdays and Fridays, it's Sunday. Just after dark, once the street lights go on. Oh.
Sunday right after dark.
Yeah. You gotta look for. And he sits up, looks out the window, left and right. Oh, you gotta look for this dude named Farmer.
And Farmer?
Skinny dude. Blonde haired, really scruffy chin, scruffy face. But you could tell that it's a bad dye job. Like, you could tell that he does it like the night of. I don't know how often he does it, but it's clear that's not his regular hair color, man. And it's clear that he doesn't really wear glasses and he doesn't dress like a preppy normally. You can tell that it really doesn't. It's not really him, but it's a good disguise though. You never guess that the guy that looks like an accountant is really like the Ashe dealer of Ashe dealers, man.
Ashe? That's pretty neat.
Yeah, makes you strong, don't it? I feel like I could like lift cars without needing to have blue balls already. This is great. I don't know why everybody's upset about it. This is good shit.
Hell, I'm breathing for the first time in God knows how long.
You can breathe? Fuck, I've been trying to do that for the last 3 minutes. And then he rolls over on his side and begins retching.
I need to get more of this shit. To our trilogy!
And as he retches and empties his stomach content on the back seat, or the floor, anyway, you realize that humans are absolutely disgusting. You realize that what's inside them should always stay inside them. You realize that, you remember now why your dad rubbed the dog's nose in it, because if you get close enough to whatever that acidic foulness that's coming out of him is, you wouldn't want to do that ever again. Because even as you are perfectly okay, perfectly held free of that mess and that stench, it's annoying. It is burning the hairs of your nose that is taking in air all of its own for once in a very, very long time. And the way that he's gagging and hacking, you're sure that, well, there's no way that that should just liquid coming out of him. There's a plop, plop, as things with weight and substance hit the liquid that's come up and out of him. The question is, do you bother to look? Do you have a gag factor that would be triggered by looking at what's coming out of him? Because that sounds solid and heavy.
He's just gonna be patting the guy in the back, just thinking this is just a really bad trip for him. That'll be okay, man. You'll get through this. Just kind of staring off into space.
So you keep patting his back and offering words of comfort. Like, yeah, that's fine. Come on, that's okay. Go on, get it out. It's okay. And the truth of the matter is, 15 minutes later, you didn't realize when the sound stopped. The scent has reached epic proportions. You didn't realize when the sound stopped because your mind began to wander as it did and does in those moments of calm. What is an Urshul? Why are you envisioning being in some Mediterranean city with some Egyptian area, some Persian area, someplace hundreds of miles from here in the Middle East? Thousands of miles from here in the Middle East. Hundreds of years from this moment, and no more than a year ago. You're not sure how you know those facts, but you do. It is not in you normally to be covetous, but whatever eyes or story that these drugs are telling you, you understand on a level that you do very few things. You are that person that was impaled by the sword. You are that person that was free for the first time in hundreds of years, thousands of years. You were and are that person. And just when you are getting acclimated with that idea, you're no longer that person. You're you. You're Benji. And the sounds have stopped. And the body is not racking or hacking up anything. You don't think much of it. For sure when it stopped. But there's a calmness and a stillness to him. And I said,
oh shit, you're dead.
And when you say that, you realize it to be true. What was hacking and flowing up and out of him were his organs being discarded by his body. The atrophied, burned out bits and parts of his internal organs. And he's bent over double, his head hanging between his legs, pointing and aiming at the floor of the back seat. And in that mess and ruin at his feet, well, is what remains of him. And somehow, the monstrosity of the battleship Potemkin is gently smoldering on the seat between you two.
I'll pick up the battleship Potemkin. Just look at it intently. Give a fuck it kind of shrug and just taking her head off it.
There's no way that this is in fact possible. But it in fact is. The residual hit of it from his bloodstream was wonderful. It was all that you could possibly hope for in getting to the back of beyond. And the only reason why you appreciate that is because there's no substance in the world that can affect you as you already are. You are dead. Yet when you take a hit of the battleship, you feel it filling your lungs. You feel it entering into your bloodstream. You feel it as it dilates your pupils. And you're able to honestly get the hit of it directly from the substance itself, which is an impossibility. You tried every substance known to man as some that were simply created for the experience, and none of them taken directly ever affect you. They have to be from the bloodstream of your victim. But this, as you inhale, hits like a mule's kick. And you sit back and allow your mind to be taken hundreds of years ago to a far distant place. The stars look different. They look brighter, closer, bigger, and more vibrant in the night. The scent of dry, arid, yet strangely moist air buffeting and bombarding the skin. You know what it's like to feel the sun on all of that glorious tanned skin. You know that the armor that you wear is a sign of your station and your loyalty to the Brotherhood. you know that it is important for you and for the Brotherhood to complete the ritual. And speaking of completing rituals, as Haley takes her fill from her favorite decanter, and she feels the weight of all of that freshly obtained Coke with a dash of heroin mixed in. You know, you gotta balance the high so you don't go too extreme. You gotta bring yourself down just a little bit so that you can reach the top of the mountain, the stamina and staying power necessary. And you know roughly how many shots of vodka that he took to down and counteract both the coke and the heroin so that he didn't go zooming into the night, where he was able to keep his level. And it's a glorious thing, giving yourself over to the idea of pleasure. Because that's what he's seeking.
She's gonna kind of bask in it for a moment.
Even with the blue from the bath bomb that was put in the shower, that was not meant for a shower, sinking to your lower extremities, sinking to the bottom of your feet, is soluble, but it wasn't designed to go directly on any skin, including and especially dead skin. So it takes a few scrubs to get free of it. And while you all are freeing yourself from the moment and he's staggering free of the shower, taxed and overjoyed, Hales, I probably should have told you, I got a job. They were hiring project managers, and I start in a week. So I was thinking, like, we have good times, right? Yeah, we have great times, right?
I mean, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
I thought you liked what we do.
Well, I mean, I do like what we do. What, you think we're gonna go get married? Have a little white picket fence and some children's?
No, nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, with what I'm gonna be making, like, we could just get
Are you saying you want to cohabitate with me, like in a more official capacity?
Look, why you gotta make things so difficult, man? Yeah. I mean, like, the money that I'm gonna be making, and you know, we could get a place. We could still party on the weekend with these fuck nuts, but it could. Come on,
What if we just stayed here and like fix some things up? Got like some new couch, some new television.
because these idiots. These idiots are gonna, they're gonna ruin everything. I mean, like, they got nowhere to go because they don't want to be anywhere. They don't want to do any better. And I know the construction isn't gonna be forever, but if we strike while the iron's hot, I got a chance to talk.
I don't know. I mean, you know the deals is all paid for. My family pays for it.
Yeah.
And then, you know.
Yeah, about that. I lied. There's this dude.
Yeah.
There's this messenger from Stryker. I don't know who that is. The next boyfriend of yours or whatever. Chili said he's been looking all over for you and some other
Well,
he mentioned.
don't fucking tell Chili where I am.
No, I wouldn't ever do that, dude. Like, come on, you know me. But
All right, go on. What's happening?
so this dude, Striker, is putting good money out, and he seems to be looking for you.
Fucking Striker, are you shitting me?
Look, I don't want to know about your ex-boyfriends. It's none of my business. But we can't keep doing this because eventually everything that your parents touched, everything that you touched before you got here, will go out of its way to ruin what we got going.
I don't know. Let me. I guess think about it. Maybe. Just. It's a lot right now.
It don't have to be. We can keep it casual. But we just keep it nice for us.
It's casual now. Just, I don't know, maybe crack the whip on these blokes.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't you go ahead and get dressed? I'll go see how they're doing. And
look, I'll tell them that when I'm not here, you're in charge. How's that sound?
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. That's good.
She will bat her lashes at him, looking as innocent as possible as she stands there dripping wet. She doesn't want to hurt his feelings, but she is a dead thing, so.
He smiles. It's more pain in that smile than should be. This is all about pleasure. This is all about fun. This is all about you. And that puppy dog adoration that is growing is not beneficial of that. But he's smart enough to keep most of the iceberg of his feelings to himself. And he smiles and wraps a towel around himself and in typical city boy fashion slicks his hair back and let me go take care of yourself, man. Go ahead, get dressed. I'll see you. I'm gonna grab a bite to eat. And he steps out of the room so that his breakdown, if there is an actual cognitive breakdown, doesn't affect what he thinks he may be having with you. And the moment he steps outside and closes the door, leaving you alone, those are names and beings that should not be a factor for you here in Gary. Chicago is far enough away to not be a factor. Yet there is a encroaching of it.
She will wrap herself in the towel and make her way to her walk-in fortress closet and find something to wear that is less formal than her little black dress and heels that she's been stuck in.
It is good to be home. It is good to be in surroundings that are secure, safe, and free from the pressures of everywhere else. And as you head to the closet, it is impossible to not see Gigi's face. She's one of the few individuals that have shared this space with you, that was invited in with any consideration of them. And she's not here anymore. All of that southern charm, that vitriol spoon-fed to the public with nothing but honey and sugar, that darkness that exists just there beneath all of that sweet savoriness. And now she's gone. And speaking of gone, Anaya watches as she's watched They take full appreciation of her being here, and without the remote, they're forced to watch whatever comes on. And just so happens that it's MASH. It's one of the few shows that Anaya grew up watching, ignoring more accurately. But sitting here with them, the experience of the episode is in fact an experience. It's not watching it, it's not like it being on in the background, annoying the hell out of you that it's not something better on. It is a moment of camaraderie that you didn't realize you were ever missing. It's that moment of being a part of something that is not solely from your personal, private, curated appearance for the rest of the world. It's been forever since you've had a moment similar to that. It's been forever since it has had any real value.
With that going on, she's kind of finally, sat and relaxed. But hearing the door of the bedroom, she glances thinking it might be Haley, but sees the guy coming out. She's usually a pretty good read of people's emotions, because she has to be. Can she see that he's like a bit upset?
What's her wits?
She's at a 2.
Not the quickest or fastest on the uptake. How's her persuasion?
That's a 0. I have performance, but persuasion, no.
Okay. The Uber Chad city boy that comes out of that bedroom. There's something off. Can't pinpoint what it is. But as he stands there, smoothing his hair into place and erecting a very sour grin, bright but sour notes to it, and looks over the living room area where everyone's gathered and sitting and conversing and mingling and taking part in the episode, and his eyes dance with a brightness and a liquidity there that is unexpected. Everyone is zonked and zooted and high and enjoying themselves, but his seems powered by something internal. And that something internal is not something that was ingested. It seems powered by something internal. His eyes are moist and glittering as he looks at everyone there. And then he looks at the remote laying several feet out of the way and all but forgotten. And he just turns around and heads further into the apartment looking for the non-private restroom. And you hear him spraying and slicking, and you can hear the tacky of his hands with goop as he works it into his hair.
See, that's the thing I'm debating. She would pick up on the fact that he's upset, not quite understanding why. Then there's the fact of, does she actually care? Maybe because she's wondering if it's going to be something that upsets Haley, which is slightly more of a concern for her, but him himself just being upset is not really... Oh, not going to ruin me. But she'll slip from the chair and kind of shadow and lean on the door jamb, checking out his hair products. You know, I know it's curly girl, but I think with your hair texture, curly girl would work for your curls. You want a little bit of a something going on up here.
Yeah, most everything I got going on is below, and he adjusts himself over the towel wrapped around his waist.
She lets her eyes drop and checks out and then goes back up. Very much tough guy, I see.
Yeah, tough enough to put up with these guys. Who are you again?
Anaya. I'm a friend of Haley's.
Oh, we got a lot of friends. I don't recognize you. What's your DOC, Anaya?
Oh, sweetie, working out is my DOC. I don't really typically do drugs.
Yeah, that's fucking boring. And pre-workout, nothing but a little bit of meth anyway.
She kind of just looks at him like, I don't know what Bill Nye the Science Guy told you that, but typically no.
Yeah, okay, you say that, but I've seen a couple of, you guys, you gym folk, sniffing and tasting and taking powders. It's the same thing. Everybody needs a way to get their rocks off without getting their rocks off, and that's your way. That's fine. That's what it, it is what it is. Although that may be probably less healthy for you than maybe having a nice night out every once in a while. Work hard, play hard. When's the last time you got a chance to get played? He just takes a step closer to the door, resting his hand against the upper door jamb, purposely flexing as he does so.
Sweetie, I bench press. A good amount. I think I'd break you.
You think that, huh? You should. You should always bet on yourself. That's what I hear. But I can guarantee you, I can take more than you can put out.
Well, we'll have to figure that out another day. I didn't come over here to get distracted. I came to see if Haley was okay.
Is that what you're saying? He takes his arm off the door jamb and moves back to the mirror, checks his hair, adjusts his neck, his necklace that's hanging, the little cross there. And he looks back. So, is it a good distraction or is it a great distraction? And speaking of distractions, it's funny how many times you've been in a situation similar to this, Benji. And of all of the times where you've watched someone near and dear to you in the moment, a fellow partier, give up the ghost and find it back before the ambulance gets there, this is the only one where you can earnestly say that you are affected, and And it's not because he mattered to you, not in any real way. You are affected because this Potemkin, this battleship, is actually able to move you. You are able to actually ingest, imbibe, and get the full value of. You don't have to wait for it to move through someone else's system, through someone else's bloodstream, for someone else to get high, for you to get a sample fraction of it. You inhale and feel the fullness of it. Even with the freaky images of hallucinating yourself as being someone else, hundreds of thousands of years ago, hundreds of thousands of miles away, even that is worth it because you get a chance to feel. And feeling something
Benji is gonna take another hit, get out of the car, and walk towards the front door and just begin knocking on it until someone answers.
And like the inexorable march of time, the constant stealing of now, the constant attrition of loss, Benji begins mimicking time's effect on everyone. The knocking incessantly, the same tempo over and over, even though for him it's a message. He can hear the bazaar around him. He can hear the dancers in the night singing to their various gods. And he knocks and knocks and knocks. And on that note, with tomorrow night being unpromised to all, with tonight being a moment of explosive revelations at the least expected moment, I thank you all for a lovely episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Sorry about your car. Oh, she's gone.